Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'll be showing you how to modify an existing view. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to modify a view by appending an extra column to the view. So in order to change a view, you have to redefine the query. And this is the syntax. So we'll basically start with the create. We are creating or we are replacing, followed by the name of the view, and then you specify the query. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add an extra column to the view we created in our previous video. So I'm going to add an email column to that view. So I'm just going to run a quick select statement so we can take a look at the columns that we have in the view. So that's the name of the view we created in our previous video. So if we look under the view section here, you can see the views listed here under customer_master. So I'm going to run this query and we can see all the columns we have at the moment. So if I expand the view, you can see the columns in the view. So these are all the columns, which are the columns that are displayed here. So the plan for this lecture here, I'm going to change this view by adding an extra column to the end. So I'm going to append it. So it'll be another column. And the column I'm going to add is going to be a column for an email here. So I'm going to add that. So let me add the script that will action that. So I've added a script. This is a query, and you can see here the previous view ended with this column here called seed, which is this one here. So I've had to put a comma there and added another column for the email. You can see this is the email from the customer table. CU basically is the alias I've given to the customer table. So that's what I've used here, CU, to represent the email. So this email column is coming from the customer table. So notice I've used the create or replace. So notice I've given it the same name. All right. So what it will do, it will replace this view. That's what it's saying, either create or replace. So let's check that out and execute this query. We'll see what happens. So you can see it says query returned successfully. So it has created the view. So now if I run the select statement again, I will expect to see an extra column for email appended to the previous view. So this is the select statement I'm using to query the view. So I'm going to run it by clicking on this lightning bolt, and you should notice an extra column at the end for email. So there you go. So we have been able to modify an existing view by appending to the view. You can also change the definition of a view by using the alter view statement. You can see here I've used the alter view statement. So basically by changing the definition, you can, for example, you can rename a view. So if I wanted to change the name of the view from the current name, which is customer_master, to customer_info, this is the statement I would write to change the definition of the view. Before I wrap up this lecture, I also want to quickly cover how to remove a view in PostgreSQL. To remove an existing view, you basically use the drop view statement, which is this statement I've highlighted here on line 8. So you start with a drop view, and you got to use, you're using the if exists, so that if you will check first if the view exists, and then you indicate the name of the view. So you specify the name of the view that you want to remove after the drop view clause. Removing a view that does not exist in the database will result in an error. So to avoid the error, you normally have to add this extra option which says if exists option. So you need to add that option to the statement so that it will instruct the PostgreSQL database to remove the view only if it exists. Otherwise, it does nothing. That way you avoid getting unnecessary errors. For example, here on line 10, I've just got a single line statement here, basically to remove the customer underscore info view that, you know, if we got a view called this name, that would be how you would remove it by executing this piece of code. So it's a very simple query for just to drop view clause, checking if it exists, and then you list the name of the view, and that will remove the view from the database. In this lecture, I showed you how to modify an existing view. I also showed you how to alter a view definition and also how to remove an existing Postgres view. Many thanks for watching, and bye for now.